What is up, everybody? This is the Wednesday's Night Watch. Slightly off topic. This is episode 260. I am your host this evening, the real Ant Man, with the Tommy DeVito shirt. Hey! And I got with me the ETEP. So
What's
we
up,
have a
man?
blank spot there. Don't know where Chris is. Hopefully he's okay. But he could join us whenever he's ready. Haven't heard from him. But yeah, like I said, hopefully he's okay. But we're gonna go ahead and kick this show off. We're gonna talk about the dreadful day in the NFL first, and that's where the head coaches get fired. Any surprises to you, Pete?
Okay, so yesterday I heard Mike Vrabel got fired from the Titans,
That's true.
which is ridiculous. I think Mike Vrabel's a good coach.
Very good
Uh,
coach.
I think he was given a really bad hand the last couple seasons. Was it didn't they trade AJ Brown to the Eagles? He has Tannehill as a quarterback, which to me, Tannehill's never been a guy who's gonna be that quarterback who's gonna take this team into like to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? He's never gonna be the quarterback unless you have killer defense, which they do. But I'm just saying Tannehill cannot, will not make up for will not make up for what the Titans. Like even if they have a great running game like Derrick Henry and a great defense, it just could not, do enough to put him over. And I feel like the last 2 years kind of showed that. So I think it's a shame that Mike Rabel got fired. Ron Rivera is also a good coach too, but that's another situation with the Commanders, which I feel like, like who do they got really in the Commanders to be a good team? You know what I'm saying? Um,
Also,
uh,
they
but
did have Kirk Cousins. They let him
shock,
walk.
shocking enough, like you just told me before we got on the air
Pete
that
Carroll gone.
Pete Carroll fired. Super Bowl winning coach got fired.
Yeah, I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm kind of like I'm dumbfounded because I know it's been
Excuse me.
I know it's been almost like what 10 years since we won a Super Bowl, maybe a little more than that, but
Where
still,
where do you where do you honestly see Pete Carroll ending up? Do you think the Patriots fire Bill Belichick and bring in Pete Carroll? I
I
think
think
Vrabel. I think Vrabel goes to the Patriots.
I think Graver goes to the Patriots
So where
because
do you think Pete Carroll ends up?
whoever wants him. I mean,
The
like
Raiders,
I don't know. The only problem with
the
Pete Carroll is
Redskins, the Chargers.
anywhere, but the only problem with Pete Carroll is this is the only thing right now is his age. He is an older he's what in his 60s, maybe
Probably
like
70s.
close to that. Yeah, that's my
No,
only
not
thing
close
about.
to that. I think he is in his 70s. Also, I know it's college football, but Nick Saban retired.
Wow, that's crazy too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Kind
Um,
of change.
I think that he saw where the college football playoffs was going next year, and he knew he couldn't walk into championship games anymore, and he took the easy road out.
Quite honest, I don't think a lot of teams are going to be walking into the
I don't think
championship game.
so either.
I think honestly,
Pete Carroll is
you know,
72 years old. He'll be 73 by the time next season starts.
that's my only thing about Pete Carroll. Like 70, how many 70-year-old coaches?
Him and
And
Belichick.
yeah, but how many 70-year-old coaches are like are winning coaches? Like
Well,
if I look,
Coughlin was winning pretty late in his career.
it takes a lot though
It
for
does.
a head. It takes a lot.
It does.
Uh, I feel like age is a factor, and I still think Pete Carroll could probably be a good coach anywhere he wants to be, but still, that's commitment, right there. You're committed to a guy who's in his 70s. Our team's gonna be committed to him. Like, we're talking about a 5-year plan, right? The
What's your 5 year plan?
I, yeah. So I
Uh,
don't know. That's my only thing about It's a shame though. Like I don't think he deserves. That's to me bad though on the Seahawks
I
organization, like
agree.
to fire Carroll. Like he should give him an option, hey, or something, to fire him. That's honestly, man. When I'm a head coach, I know like head coaching jobs are pretty valuable, and for a lot of these assistant coaches and college
So
coaches,
do
but
you
still,
think Arthur Smith getting fired? You think that's shocking in Atlanta?
no, I don't think so. He hasn't really done too much.
Let's see. Brandon Staley got fired with the Chargers.
Like I think it's
Frank
not
Wright with the
surprising.
Panthers. Josh
He got fired.
McDaniels with the Raiders. So we'll see.
Pete Carroll's shocking, and I think Grable's shocking too because I feel like Grable. I mean, I think he did a pretty good job the first couple of years with the Titans. Um, I just feel like I said, Tannehill's not a really great quarterback, man. He never really was a good quarterback. I mean, I remember when Tannehill was, we were all like, wow, why did he get Tannehill? But he took him to the playoffs a couple times, right?
He did and lost it for him in the playoffs a couple times too.
True, but I'm saying like the Titans were doing pretty good, man. I
Yeah, they had
mean,
Derrick Henry. They should have never got rid of AJ Brown.
nope. But you know what though? I do see Grable ended up with the Patriots. I think his relationship with help me out here, and the owner, Patriots
Robert
owner
Kraft.
Robert Kraft. Thank you. Yeah, I think Robert Kraft is relationship with Grable is probably pretty good. Grable definitely he played for the Patriots. He was in their championship teams. He's definitely a good fit for the Patriots. You know
Hmm.
that type of, that his mentality, his competitiveness. Excuse me, can't even say that word. I think he's a great fit for the Patriots. So and also the fact that Patriots got the number 3 pick. Um, yeah, it definitely I think can do something with that team. And there's not too much to do, right? They're what? Oh, there he is. You see, there's Chris.
He's here. Now I got to get him on the thing.
I so
Hel-
sorry, John. Hold on.
Hello. How are you,
Hey,
Chris?
man.
I'm good. I fell asleep and didn't set my alarm. That's my fault.
I thought you did. No, you're all
Oh,
good, man. Let me get you in here.
Holy crap.
I told you, and he's all worried, man. I'm like, no, he's probably asleep, man.
Oh, it's okay. I'm allowed to be worried.
Ugh.
Oh boy, shouldn't have did that. What the heck?
So, Chris, we're talking about the coaches being fired in the NFL the last couple of days. We go from Black Monday to well, was it still continue to Black? I guess Black Wednesday, right?
Yeah, because Pete Carroll is no longer
Which is
head coach.
which is shocking to me because of Pete Carroll, a Super Bowl winning coach, getting fired.
Well, he didn't get fired. He moved to advisor, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
kind
okay,
of like what Bruce Arians did.
okay. That's see, okay. And he gave me false information
That's
right there,
not false
buddy.
information. He was. I don't think it was his choice.
Yeah, it probably wasn't his choice, but I mean, he didn't get fired. I mean, he's like, oh, let me just
Step
shift.
down. He
Yeah,
stepped down. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
forcefully step down. That's
Yeah.
called getting fired.
I guess
Hey, but you still have a job with us. We
yeah.
just
Sure.
want you to move somewhere else.
I feel like they just. I
Where
think it's
where's
his
your
age.
beautiful face, Chris?
Give me one second. I'm actually on my phone. I'm actually booting up my
Oh, okay.
laptop.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem. So what was the biggest shock for you for head coaches?
Mike Variable
Yeah,
did
I would
not
agree with that.
did not expect that at all.
Well,
I mean,
I still believe this goes to what I said halfway through the season, where I said Belichick was going to be the Giants' defensive coordinator, and I still believe it to this day.
I don't think that.
The
I
dominoes are
don't.
falling. Belichick's going to get fired or resign or whatever. Vrabel's going to go be the head coach of New England, and then Belichick and his son are going to come to the Giants as the defensive coordinator and a defensive assistant.
did you? Oh yeah, your defensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
our defensive coordinator resigned.
Okay.
It's
I
the pieces are falling in place.
Didn't your head coach work for Belichick or whatever?
Yeah,
Right?
he did. But
Okay.
I mean, there's other people on the radar for the Giants. Antonio Pierce is one person that they're looking at if he doesn't get the Raiders job. Also Leslie Frazier, but Leslie Frazier also just interviewed for the Chargers job, so we'll see.
I just have a hard time believing that Belichick being an underling coach to somebody else, like being a defensive coordinator to somebody else. I don't know. That to me doesn't seem right because Belichick, who won 6 Super Bowls, and I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, okay, maybe Brady was a bigger factor than Belichick was, but still, he doesn't work both sides of the field, Brady. You know what I'm saying? He only does one side of the field. Like, you still need the defense. You still need special teams. You still need other things besides just
Sure,
Brady.
but don't count out the love for the Giants franchise.
No, I agree. I just feel like
He,
people.
he he's just he wants another Super Bowl. He's ready for it.
He'd be closer with the Giants than he would be with the Patriots. I'll tell you that much.
Or he could still go to like somewhere else, like Atlanta.
I still think he's closer with the Giants than he would be with Atlanta.
Mm.
Agree with Ann though. His history with the Giants is pretty well
If
documented.
yeah, if you go and watch there's I don't know if it's a 30 for 30. I think it is. I think it's like the tale of the Bills or something like that, or the tale of two Bills or
Okay.
whatever it is. It's like the Giants in the 80s, and it talks about Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, and like
Hmm.
so, but like you can see like the admiration Belichick has for the Giants, like because like they go back to Giant Stadium and you can see him like walking through the halls, looking at the Super Bowl trophies. You can just like see it in his face that he's like, man, like I would like love to be here again.
Yeah, that's true.
I I just feel like he won Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator for the Giants. He won the what 85 and 91. Am I correct? Right?
87 and 91.
87, 91. Sorry. But I just I have a hard time feeling that he's gonna be. I mean, it's very possible. Like Belichick just supposedly.
Who was the old defensive coordinator of the Bucks back in the day?
Monty
Under
Uh,
Kiffin.
Dungy. Yeah, Monty Kiffin. Think about it more like that situation where you have one of the greatest defensive minds. He's in his like early to mid 70s. He doesn't want to have to deal with all the stuff a head coach has to deal with. He just wants to go do what he's best at, right?
Right.
He just
Yeah.
wants to be the defensive guy. And he could set up the position so his son could take over when he's done. His son was defensive coordinator for the Patriots this year. Did a fantastic job.
Possible. I mean, Buddy Ryan, I believe, could have been a head coach, but was defensive coordinator most of his career. I
He was a
mean,
head coach for the Eagles for years.
well, what years?
Uh, Late 80s, early 90s.
Wasn't he in the Cardinals too? Because I remember Buddy Ball.
Maybe. I know that's when he left the Bears, though. Remember he had a falling out with the Bears?
But then, wait, hold up. So he went with the 80s and 90s, and then went back to being defensive coordinator for the Houston Oilers, right? In the 90s, in the mid 90s.
Yeah, and that's when he got into a fight with Kevin Gilbride.
Yeah, he punched Kelly Gilbride in the face. Yeah, that's true. That happened. Um, so yeah, it's very possible. I don't know. I have a hard time believing
You
Bill
do.
Belichick.
Let me dream, my friend. Let me dream.
Just let him cook, okay? Just let
Yeah,
him cook.
just let me cook.
Who are you, 6 in the draft?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, it also depends who you're drafting, right? What player
Yeah, some
you're following.
idiot reporter asked Daniel Jones if he thinks the Giants should take a quarterback at number 6. Like, what do you think Daniel Jones is going to give you insight at if he thinks you should take a quarterback at number
Oh my
6?
god.
My question is, so are I know well, not the Cardinals. I'm sorry, the Commanders will take a quarterback. The Patriots will probably take a quarterback, right? I don't see how they won't take a
You don't like
quarterback.
Mac Jones? You don't like Zebby? Zeby or whatever his name is?
Oh, dude, come on, man. Those guys are not, starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's be honest, they're not. Um,
Zach Wilson?
nope, not starting quarterback in the NFL. Sorry. Um, but
Gardner
yeah,
Minshew.
No, not
No?
even. No.
The throw was behind, but that guy should have caught that.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest there.
Oh yeah. Oh dude.
It wasn't a who's your backup
It
QB?
wasn't a Tyrod Taylor,
Yeah, it wasn't
a
Tyrod Taylor
duck.
throw.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor duck, but it was behind him.
Oh dude. Like and then I saw like oh Gardner should have like bro that guy should have caught it. It was right in his
Oh
hands.
no, dude, the throw could have been better, no doubt about it. But both of your hands are on the football. You need to secure that thing.
Oh yes, I agree, dude. You had nobody on you. Come on, like shitty throw, but still the guy should have caught that.
Yeah.
And that's the
And CJ Stroud goes to the playoffs because of it.
which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, was second.
I told you the Bills were gonna beat Miami though.
They did.
Miami right now is the Philadelphia of the AFC. They are reeling.
Philly is way worse.
Philly is in worse condition, but out of all the playoff teams, they're very similar.
Yes, because also injuries are catching up with both teams.
Yeah.
Like what was it? They lost both their edge rushers, Miami. What was it? Tyreek Hill's kind of hurt too. So is AJ Brown for the Eagles.
That game as well. Let's talk picks. Let's do picks because that game. Let's talk about that game. We'll pick that one first. Chiefs. Miami at the Chiefs, which is right now they said might be the coldest game in NFL history.
0 degrees.
With 20 mile per hour winds.
Are we still telling of like picks or whatever? What's going on here?
No, you won, Pete. Whatever, have it.
I won.
Yeah, I'll forfeit. You could just have the victory.
Not forfeit, man. I don't like forfeit.
Exactly. See, it makes it feel worse. That's why I'm doing it.
No, you know what? I'm fine. I'm taking that victory. Anyway,
there you go.
Let's just go to pick. I take that victory again.
I'm taking Kansas City over Miami.
Kansas City over Miami. That's a
0 degree weather. I'm going Kansas City.
I'm going Miami.
Really? You think the boys that play in Miami are going to be able to handle 0 degree weather?
I mean, Kansas City can't stop a parked car. So, I mean, their receiving core is not what it is.
Don't matter.
No, I'd be honest. It's a tough game, man. It's a toss-up because I feel like either Miami or Chiefs. It's either or, right?
Kansas City ain't losing at home. Get out of here. Plus, Miami can't beat teams with records above 500. So,
I think if there wasn't for the injuries, I'll pick Miami. But the injuries, I think, it took a toll on them.
Go ahead, Pete. Pick Miami. Both of you guys pick Miami. I don't care.
I'm picking the Chiefs just because the injuries. I'm picking the Chiefs just because the injuries took a toll on them. Also, it is an Arrowhead, and also I do believe in Mahomes and Kelsey. I do believe in those two guys. I think they can make big plays.
Yeah, only on Peacock. If you want to see Taylor Swift, you gotta subscribe to Peacock.
Stupid, man. That game should get it should be on national television, man.
It is. It's nationally on Peacock.
Terrible, man. What a terrible thing.
I already told you, Pete. Sign up for Peacock and you get to watch the Royal Rumble for free.
I didn't sign up for Peacock. I had Peacock.
So what are you mad about?
For everybody else out there who
everybody that's listening here, you subscribe to Peacock. You get the Miami and Chiefs game, and then you get the Royal Rumble for free on the 27th.
Oh.
This guy.
Tribal Chief defending the belt in a fatal 4-way. First time ever in Royal Rumble history. The belt's being defended in a fatal 4-way.
Who's the 4 people? I mean, the 3 people he's defending against.
I hear voices in my head.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Who else?
AJ Styles.
A Knight. Yeah. And then AJ Styles, man.
That's a good main event. I mean, those 3 will carry Roman throughout the whole match.
Bro, Roman is gonna stack them and pin them, all 3 of them.
We'll say when this past SmackDown, when those three were going at it without Roman, Pete, and then they're all like knocked out each other and they're all laying on the ground, and then Roman comes out. I
Like
would say that whole sequence of him coming out and then beating on everyone was interesting. Is like good storytelling, mostly because of the fact of the camera work.
yeah, he looked like the
Because
final boss coming out, basically.
yeah,
It
so
was pretty badass.
it was like they're all staggered and like LA Knight's like bloody. AJ is just laying on the ground. Randy is just like trying to get up but struggling, and then you hear the music, and then Roman walks out, and they're just like, oh my god, oh we don't know
And
what
then
to
and then I
do.
love the way they ended the episode too. Like Nick Aldis was like watching the match at ringside, and he goes to like Paul Heyman because like they like they're in there with like in like basically like over like their like the three guys like lifeless bodies, and Nick Aldis like not he doesn't grab a microphone, but he like grabs like Heyman by the arm, and like Heyman's like don't touch me. He goes, hey, when your boy's done celebrating in there, tell me just earned himself a fatal 4-way, and then they cut the camera. I was like, dude, that was really like I love the way they did that.
So I also want to since you bring this up about camera work and all that. I actually heard they hired somebody from who used to work at ESPN,
Yeah, he
and
did the College Game Day and Monday Night Football.
yes, that's a pretty major pickup for I think that.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was asking about it. I know they like Kevin done step
it's
down,
funny
but
because I guess a lot of the leftover people there are like they're worried like that they might lose their job, but I'm like I don't think anyone that was there that as long as like they don't rub the new guy the wrong way, I think their jobs are safe.
well,
Yeah,
I always look at it this way: the fact that WE is getting somebody who's done Monday Night Football and things like that to be.
They said that the guy from TKO like who's like the main guy at like the top
Yeah,
of like it's like is it Ariel something like that or
right.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I guess like they're saying that the hire came from like he wanted somebody like that had like a lot of experience to take it over.
I understand wrestling and like
be right
whatever,
back.
maybe a little bit different
Yeah.
in a sense. But where did Chris go?
I'll be right back.
I was
Yeah,
I
no
think he
worries.
just turned his camera off.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Okay,
So
we'll wait to do the picks for you to get back.
you know, like that's
I mean,
to me.
I can hear you. I'm still wearing my headset, but I'm not gonna talk. You talking?
Oh, okay, no problem.
No worries, bro. But no, I feel like that's exactly like I said. I don't know how he's going to transition from football and what to wrestling, but I think camera work and just knowing exactly what to do, like it's probably good.
Well,
It's probably going to be
I was about to say the biggest part of being the production director is just knowing when to do your cuts.
yeah.
Really, I mean, that's why you like all the cameramen are still they have the knowledge of where they need to be, what they need to do. You're just back in the production truck and you're the one that's basically choosing the camera shots that you're putting on television. So
Also, AEW's hired for a lot of who's going to be in charge of live events. Somebody who used to work for the WWE, I
I
believe.
saw that. Yeah, that's a good pickup too.
It's a good pickup for both companies.
Yeah,
Like you need people who are like handle who are working for
you
who
need people that had more responsibility than you're giving them.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
people who actually were dealing with these big college game days, professional sports or whatever,
Hmm.
huge professional sports events. You need people like that to be handling this stuff. So, good pickup for both companies. I think that's the direction you want to go. You want to be more respectful in this in the industry, right? Like in the sports industry.
Well, yeah,
So,
you want to be obviously it's not a legitimate sport, but you want to legitimately be up there, even as like it just maybe say like as a sports entertainment. There you go. I know like people hate that word, but that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
entertainment and it's athletic. So, but yeah, you want to just be able to. What
some
was that,
ways
Pete?
I'll say in some ways people think NFL script is sometimes. I mean, look at the picks. Look at the games this week, man. The
Well,
games.
I mean, yes, so, like Miami and Kansas City has the storyline of Tyreek Hill. Let's talk about well, the Bills and the Steelers don't really have a storyline, but we'll talk that
No.
game next. Um,
Okay, so so that's a nice segue. All right, so like Kansas City, I picked Kansas City. You picked Kansas City.
I'm going to Kansas City. Chris, go Miami.
Miami. Okay, fine.
I'm going Bills against the Steelers. I think T.J. Watt is basically like gonna kill that defense, like not having him on the edge rush.
Yeah, Bills. Yeah, that's an easy pick for me. Bills. I think Bills on a roll right now too.
But Josh Allen can't freaking stop the turnovers. So I mean,
he does turn the ball over a lot, but he's still a really good quarterback.
Yeah, he is. I feel like
I'm going Steelers on this one.
Really, you think the Steelers are gonna pull the upset?
I think they're going to like make him pay for the turnovers.
I will give you this on the Steelers. They are definitely the better coach team. I would take Mike Tomlin over Sean McDermott any day of the week.
Bro, I hope like this whole Mike Tomlin, like whatever.
Dude, Mike Tomlin's like top 3 coach in the NFL, in my opinion. Dude's fantastic.
If I had to hear any more Mike Tomlin, like, oh, I don't know if he can, coach the Steelers anymore. I don't know. Like,
oh, people are saying that? Like, what?
Well, I mean, okay, so like because of look at his wide receivers.
Dude, look at his quarterbacks.
True, but look at his wide receivers barely putting in any effort when they don't get the ball.
Yeah,
and not just.
But I think that's the person, because wasn't he also coaching?
No, look at the history of wide receivers.
Okay, A.J. Brown had CTE, so not A.J. Brown. I'm sorry, Antonio Brown. But wasn't he coaching Hines Ward? Dude, Hines Ward used to freaking wreck people. Wreck people.
Who else they have? Chase Claypool. Where is he now?
With the Dolphins, and he was the guy that got picked on the last play because he didn't freaking try to go for the ball. Dude, it was so funny. I was listening to, I forget what the sports show was. They're like, are you like, how can Tua throw into double coverage to like Claypool and think that's a smart move?
Where is Juju?
I don't know. Where was he with New England?
Yes, but exactly. They all moved on because they all got big heads and they all was acting out and then left the Steelers.
But they haven't done.
He never fixed his behavior.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything better outside of the Steelers.
I mean, Juju won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs last year.
That's true.
But is Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City, and like if Mahomes not anybody that can actually catch a ball.
But you haven't heard anything bad coming from Juju since he's left.
That's true.
Or Chase Claypool since he's left.
Yeah, I think just like Tomlin is a type of like hard-nosed coach that some of these players cannot like handle. They don't like it. Some of these receivers are usually prima donnas.
I mean, Harris is a great running back. I mean, really, like, to me, the biggest issue with that team is still wide receiver. Quarterback.
It's still quarterback 1,000% because I mean, Mason Rudolph. Like, what the freak? No one expected that crap. Don't even get me on Mr. Trubisky. And then
they need to bring back Ben.
No, and then Pickens. I mean, what the heck?
Their defense though always plays hard,
always great defense.
Yeah.
I just, you know what it is, man? They just need a good offense coordinator, someone who can actually work with that team. Someone that actually, like Tomlin does the defense, and then the offense coordinator can do whatever he wants, with that team, and then maybe that's what it needs. So, but hey, they're still in the playoffs, regardless of what happened. They're still in the playoffs now. So
17 winning seasons.
That's amazing.
Amazing. I don't care what anybody says. It's amazing, dude. I wish we had. Dude, they just haven't had a win.
I wish I had 7, let alone 17. 2. I'll take 2. Can I get 2?
I don't think we had that.
I'll take 1 rib.
I think we had 1 winning season of Jets. I think that's about it. And we didn't make the playoffs. I think we went 10-6. But that's about it, man. The last 10 years or something like that.
And then the final game is the Cleveland Browns traveling to Houston.
Browns.
That's a storyline.
Yes, that is a storyline.
But Deshaun Watson's out for the year, so
I need my other storyline though. I need the Browns to play the Baltimore Ravens, so I'm going Browns.
Yeah, I'm going Browns. Yeah.
Because not only is that the Joe Flacco storyline, that is also the storyline of the Cleveland Browns leaving Cleveland to go to Baltimore. Like that one, the script writers can't make a better game than that.
Let me ask you something though. If the Browns do win, do they face the Ravens in the next round, or is it going to
It
be like?
depends. It depends on the other games. If
Okay.
if they win and the 2 and the 3 seed win, yes, they play the Ravens in Baltimore.
By the 2 and 3 seed, you mean the Chiefs and the Bills,
Chiefs and the
right?
Bills. If the Chiefs and Bills win and the Browns win, Browns go to Baltimore.
Dude, that would be a storyline as well too if the Chiefs and Bills win, because then like the last couple years they've been facing in the playoffs, the Chiefs and Bills. So that's another storyline.
Script writers will be at full going this weekend.
Full game.
So my before we get into the NFC games, my hope for the Super Bowl is the Lions and the Browns. So one of them has to win. One of them will have to win. That is my hope.
So it's gonna be the Cubbies and the Indians all over again, and the night.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing though. If it winds up being the Bills and the Lions, it works out the same way. But we know how the Bills are in the Super Bowl, so the Lions just gonna walk into a victory in that situation.
Dude, I don't think the Lions ever been to the Super Bowl.
No, they haven't. This year, so here's a funny stat for you. This is the first time ever in playoff history that the Browns, the Bills, and the Lions all made the playoffs in the same year. And what's interesting about that is because all three cities are around Lake Erie, so that's why it was it's kind of an interesting. It's kind of an interesting fact because well, it's just that they're all in the same geographical region. I think that's interesting.
I was just fun. I was just like, oh, it's
pretty eerie.
Something's in the water.
But so let's talk the NFC then. So here's a storyline for you. Mike McCarthy's old team is coming down to Dallas to face him, and we're gonna have the Packers at the Cowboys.
I'm going with Cowboys.
So this is gonna be the Cowboys, and this is the only way it's not gonna be the Cowboys. And the Packers have to do this. The Packers have to win the coin toss. The Packers have to receive the ball, and the Packers have to score a touchdown. If they do not do those things, and they're playing from behind, they're not going to win that game. They need to get the lead, and they need to try to make Dallas as one-dimensional as possible on offense.
Yeah, because they can't run.
They can't, and that's really that's my real Ant-Man keys to victory on that game.
Yeah, I just think Micah Parsons and that defense is just gonna.
I don't know, dude. Micah Parsons hasn't been having a great year this year.
No, he hasn't.
He's been getting wrecked by some offensive lines, man. It's kind of crazy.
All talk, no bite.
Yeah, he's got those Joey Porter popcorn muscles.
Yeah. But I still feel that Dallas team, I think at home at Dallas is definitely gonna be the favorites.
No, definitely they're the favorites. I'm not gonna lie that, dude. I'll tell you one team they don't want to see. They don't want to see Detroit.
No, they don't.
They definitely don't want to see Detroit.
Detroit or freaking
49ers.
49ers. Yeah, no.
But the other games we got, Detroit is on the road.
No,
yeah, because they're going to LA.
No. LA is going to Detroit. Detroit won the division. Yeah.
Okay. LA is going to Detroit.
So that's a team I wouldn't want to face right now. LA is the hottest team going in the playoffs. They are 7-1 in their last 8 games.
Yep.
And there's some storyline there. Both quarterbacks were swapped a couple years ago.
Yep.
Who do you guys think is going to take that one?
To be honest,
Lions.
The Lions, but I'll be honest, guys. That is to me the game of the week.
I actually agree with you.
It's the game of the week because I don't know who to pick. Because the Lions, I think, have been playing really good this season. Regardless of that loss a couple weeks ago to Dallas, I think their coach and everything else about it, they got good defense, good running game. They have, but dude, I agree with you. And the Rams are hot.
They are. They're very hot.
They're very hot.
Which kills me that the Giants could have beat them if Tyrod doesn't throw a duck.
Yeah. I will go with Lions because home field advantage. But like I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think Rams are a dangerous team,
And
man.
and McVay finally got a running back. He hasn't had a
Yeah.
running back the whole time he's been there, and he
That's
like
Yeah.
crazy.
and his running back's awesome. What's his name? Like Kyron Williams, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, and he's been playing really good this year. And then what's his name? Puka Natua, is that his name? The wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
He has a rookie record
Oh,
now.
yeah.
And then you got Cooper Kupp. Dude, that team's stacked, man. Like on offense. If their defense is going to be what's going to, we'll see if Goff could run over that defense. But you know what, dude? The Lions are stacked on offense too, because they got St. Brown, they have Khalif Raymond. I think Laporta might be hurt for this game though. That's really going to hurt them because he's a great tight end. And then their running backs are good as well. So Montgomery and the kid they drafted, I forget his name.
I tell you what, though, man, if the Rams go to Detroit and beat Detroit, the Rams are a dangerous team, man. The Rams can actually they can go to the Super Bowl again, man. I know the 49ers are the favorites right now, but still, like it's
And then the final game is the Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to your guys' homeland, the Tampa Bay area. And I'm going to tell you what, Chris, I'm riding Tampa on this one.
Yep.
You know what, Chris? I'm the same, man. I think Eagles are
in shambles.
They're shambles.
Dude, all I'm doing if I'm the Bucks, I'm just throwing the ball Mike Evans all day because their secondary is trash, hot trash.
Mike and between
and
Mike
Godwin,
and Chris, yeah.
Yep, yeah, man. You guys should be able to throw on them all day long.
Yeah,
should be able to. We'll see. Should be able to.
Yeah, definitely picking the Bucks.
Is Baker 100%?
Not yet, not fully. He's limping. Well, last game he was limping and he got a rib issue.
Yeah, I just think your Bucks defense needs to just do their job. That's it.
Yeah.
Just play the bit like.
And then Evans will do his, and then you guys should win. Oh like man, I would love for the Eagles to be out first round. Oh my God, I'd love it. You know, as much as I wanted the Giants to lose that last game to get the number 5 pick, oh God, whooping that ass was so nice, so nice.
Let me tell you something, man. You and me both, because I think that the fact the Jets, I want a better pick, but then them being the Patriots were.
Dude, didn't that feel like sweet justice? Almost feels as good as the Knicks winning by 30 points every night. Almost.
No, I'm not gonna lie, though. I'm all about let me get a better draft pick. Because what's the point, right? But dude, being the Patriots in Foxborough, and it's supposed to be Bill Belichick's last coaching game, last game he's coaching for the Patriots. Sugar on top, man.
I'll tell you what, Pete doesn't like watching basketball with me. I'm sitting there. I'm like the Knicks are up last night by 36, and then the Rip City or whatever, the Trailblazers, they cut the lead to 28. I'm like, oh, here we go, Knicks are collapsing.
Oh God.
That's why I'm so pessimistic when it comes to the Knicks, man.
Well, I mean, I for granted, they had like the guys on the bench playing that like don't even take like their tracksuits off normally, so. But
they're like, oh, you guys get in there. Come on,
bro.
You can get in just. We pay you guys. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. That Knicks team, I don't have a team that lets me down more than the Knicks. So you got to understand why I've guarded.
But I don't think that this year the Knicks, they're not probably the elite teams. I don't think they're Boston, or I don't think they're the Bucks.
We're gonna be number 4.
But I think we're definitely climbing the ladder. From what I see, the way they're playing,
OG's the real deal, man.
He's just, I think he's what the Knicks needed, just a more
a solid, consistent player. Exactly. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. And that's like a guy is going to go out there and give you a plus 10 every night. And that's what that man is. In fact, last night he had like a plus 30. That's ridiculous.
They're on a 5-game winning streak right now, right?
Yeah, 5-game.
So we'll see what happens, but I do like the way the Knicks are playing.
We play Dallas next. In Dallas.
We'll see, but yeah, it makes me excited for the Knicks, man. So we'll see what happens this year. But like I said, it's them keep on, climbing that ladder, getting better.
How do you like the Monday night game, Chris? I think they should have them all on Saturday and Sunday.
I'm okay with it.
Here's what bugs me about it though. Like no matter who wins that game, you guys automatically have a 1 game less break than the other two teams. In fact,
True.
the teams playing Saturday get 2 more days off than you guys get.
True. I don't know. I mean, but we get the rest now, and I think that's the important thing.
That's true. You thrust for the game.
AJ Brown is hurt. Baker's hurt.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit more rest.
Yeah, but you need a Monday night game, man. I mean, it's kind of like.
No, you don't. Come on, man. They're just trying to take ratings from Raw. But
Disney needs their money. Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Football, man.
But okay, so we got some news. We got some video game news.
Mm-hmm.
We got some video game news. Where we at here? Right there.
Oh! Now you're excited now? Oh,
no,
okay.
No. I'm still what's cautiously optimistic about it.
Lukewarm.
Good word. I like that. Well, here's the problem: is I still feel like the court deal with the FTC's going on. I feel like Microsoft isn't going to play their hand because they don't want to give the FTC ammo.
So let's give us some context. Xbox is having a developer direct on next Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. Which is what they had last January as well.
Right. So, and it's supposed to showcase them showing off Indiana Jones finally.
10 minutes of gameplay.
Yep.
And the name of the game leaked, by the way.
What is it?
Really?
Yeah. It's called hold on. It's called Indiana Jones and the Something Circle.
Something Circle?
Well, not something, but it just leaked like before we came on because I guess like they filed for like a whole bunch of websites for the name, which kind of is a crappy way for it to get leaked. The Great Circle. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
The Great Circle. I wonder what it's about.
It's probably about a great circle, Pete.
Yes. The circle of life, probably. I don't know. Also, Avowed, I think, is supposed to be shown.
Avowed, correct. From Obsidian Entertainment.
Hellblade 2 is
from
supposed to be...
Ninja Theory.
And then there's a 4th one, isn't there?
There is. It's called Ara, the Untold History.
Okay.
Which is I believe they're called... It's from the team that worked on Civilization. Civ or whatever. It's a strategy game. I believe they call it like a 4X strategy. I don't really like. I'm not a big strategy guy. That's a game for Mr. Waterboy. He'll love that game. Not for me. I can admit that right out of the gate. Like that's not for me.
Seem interesting and promising. It could be their pretty much this year's slate for Xbox in a way.
Yeah. Well, they said nothing from Activision will be talked about.
Right.
So.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Indiana Jones was a summer game. Wouldn't surprise me.
No, it's fitting to be a summer game, so that would be their June game. Somebody said that one of the insiders, they were saying something. Someone posted something about Indiana Jones, and they said you're going to be surprised that it's actually closer to release than you think. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And
yeah, I think that's a June one.
What was that?
You think it's going to be a summer game?
I think Hellblade 2 will be in the spring. I think Indiana Jones will be in the summer, and I think Avowed will be in the fall. And then I'm trying to think like other games they have. So I know like the Flight Simulator 24. Yeah. I want to say that'll be a midsummer game probably as well.
Probably like a July release.
Yeah, and that's actually going to be pretty interesting because it's not what you think it is. It's not like a yearly update for the other one. Yeah. It's actually a game using that engine. It's like where you're doing like flight and rescue.
Missions?
Yeah, you're doing missions. Like you're doing actual
like Snow Runner and Mud Runner.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be similar. So that one I actually will download and play. The other one, dude, I'm sorry, I don't want to sit in front of my Xbox for 5 hours flying from Sarasota to to Kansas City. Like, I'm sorry, that does not interest me. I'm good.
You can fly low and like.
Oh, there's my house.
That's my house.
Yeah, no, that doesn't interest me.
Indiana Jones gonna be just like Uncharted, you think?
No, I think it's gonna be. If I had to guess, I would say, and I haven't played it, but from what I've seen of it, I would say it's going to be like the new God of War.
Gotcha.
Which is kind.
Well, I mean,
I would say it was more lines of Uncharted than anything.
I don't think you're gonna be like, I guess like I don't think you're gonna be running around as cartoony as Drake. Like, I think like the motions are gonna feel more like from what I've seen you play of God of War when you've sent me videos.
Yeah.
I feel like that moves more natural, whereas Uncharted looks a little more arcadey when you're moving around, and I think that's what I mean by that. I think it'll be very similar to Uncharted, like theme wise, like thematically, but I think it's gonna move more like less arcadey, if that makes sense.
It's gonna be a grounded,
yeah,
more grounded.
Yeah, because like the thing is though, like
I hope it's gonna be like Tomb Raider. That would be my hope.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. I could see that. I could definitely.
I don't think he's gonna use a lot of guns though, because I don't really think like he didn't really use a lot of guns in the movies. Like he was more of the whip. And then and then yes, you could get some guns for some missions. It definitely, like I was talking to our other friend Superfly, and I was like, it needs to have like 8 to 10 set pieces, like where like you're doing like a chase scene, or like you're on a train, or you're like flying and you're shooting like while someone else is flying. Like it has to have like really cool like set pieces. Like to me, that's what makes Indiana Jones Indiana Jones.
You also need puzzles too.
Well, yeah, of course.
Solve puzzles and things like that. But it's funny. What's funny about Indiana Jones coming out now is you've had Tomb Raider for the last over 25 years.
Well, they've made Indiana Jones games before. They had the Emperor's Tomb.
Yeah, but I mean, it never like the way it should have been. Like Tomb Raider did it perfectly.
No, it was
right?
Tomb Raider-ish. I just never played it, so I can't tell you if it was good or not.
Say, like Tomb Raider very well in the 90s, and then Uncharted.
But let's be honest, guys. We all know this. Our first, back in the day when we saw a licensed game, we always thought negatively of it. Like our first thought wasn't like, oh, Indiana Jones game's coming out, freaking fantastic. Nowadays, that's changed. Nowadays, like when we see licensed games, we're like, okay, like we see the possibility that they could do with this franchise.
The reason why is because it's fans out there, right? Like,
well, you got games like Spider-Man, you got games like Batman, you got games like Hogwarts. Chris, how are you enjoying Avatar?
I actually really enjoy it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I
finally got my Acheron.
Yeah, you got your ride.
My ride.
Your swerve. Is that how the dance
easily
or like that?
I can easily jump off my Acheron and like shoot and destroy a helicopter on the way down, and then call my Acheron and he'll come and sweep me up and pick me up.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I do want to play that game. As soon as it goes on sale digitally, I'm gonna pick it up. So.
Let me ask you something though, guys. Like when it comes to licensed games, do you think the reason why licensed games there's some good licensed games back in the day, but do you think the reason licensed games back in the day were not that great is because maybe developers had to pay, to get those games made for them?
No,
I think they were rushed because they're trying to match the movie.
100%.
It's a cash grab, like they want to get it released right.
Yeah, kind of like how you see the book version of the movie come out with the, and it'll be exactly the same, but it may be a little bit changes in there.
You know what? That makes sense because I remember GoldenEye when it came out. It came out, I think, 2 years after the movie came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So developers had time to actually make it.
Yeah.
Once it came out, but
it's actually better than the movie, in my opinion.
But But that's what's funny about it, man. The movie came out 2 years after the movie, and then it turned out to be one of the best games on the N64, right?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
one of the highest selling games on the N64. So it doesn't really matter, really, when you think about
Well,
it.
I think a lot of the games too back in the day, excuse me, they were more like just putting skins on the previous games, like for instance like the Spider-Man games, dude, like they was just like any like I'm talking not the Sony ones, I'm talking about like Maximum Carnage and like those games.
Yeah.
They just basically were putting Spider-Man in like a beat 'em up side scroller game. Like it's like they just like, oh, we're not gonna make a Spider-Man game, we're just gonna put Spider-Man on top of this game. And dude, like here's the thing is, like I even say that, but like there's companies that did that with their own properties. Like Nintendo used to do that crap too. Like Mario 2 is not a Mario game. They added Mario on top of Doki Doki Panic. So it's not like that was never supposed to be a Mario game. It's just a Mario skin.
But I think people. I mean, I think video game companies realize how important IPs are,
Yeah.
and they realize if you do it right, you can make so much money off of it.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
could you imagine? Think of it this way. Let's go back to Nintendo. So when Nintendo was doing their Nintendo thing, and they never make any new IPs because they're Nintendo for some reason. Could you imagine if like they were like, oh, we're gonna do Splatoon, but then was like, oh, well, we're just gonna do it with Mario characters and make it like Sunshine. Like to me, the game's not even nearly as good as it is then. The whole point, the whole thing that makes Splatoon good is the fact that they introduce all these new characters, like these squids and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like that's what makes that game so interesting. If they would have just put like, oh, we're just gonna put the flood backpack on Mario characters and you're just gonna like clean or just gonna like spray, like that's not great. Like I used to get so annoyed when Nintendo would do that. But like, dude, look at a game like Arms. Arms was pretty fun. We played that like when it first came out, but like then they don't do anything with it.
Nothing at all. It's gone.
Unfortunately, it's also like sales, and people look at certain things like that and say like, well, this game didn't make that much money, should we invest on a franchise? And they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't. Like that's a problem with games. A lot of times when you make a game, a new IP, is it gonna sell? Is there a market out there for that game? Sometimes it does. There's not a market, or sometimes unfortunately people
You gotta nurture them, Pete. You gotta nurture those IPs.
It's funny.
Bring them up.
A game like everybody talks about back in the day, Beyond Good and Evil. Like everybody praises being a great game, right? But it didn't really sell really well.
And the sequel's been in development for 45 years.
But it's a cult classic because people rave about it, but unfortunately, not a lot of people played it. So it's kind
of they are coming out this year with the what is it, the 20th anniversary edition, remastered. So that will be dropping this year. So and it's going to be completely overhauled. So everybody will get a chance to play the original while we wait another 45 years for the sequel to come out.
All I gotta say is it's definitely.
I'm not pulling punches on that one, Chris.
Nope.
But you know what's wild though, Pete, is that Skull and Bones is actually going to come out before it.
Jeez.
In February, yeah.
So what a change from back in the day when ET first came out in the Atari, how bad that game was, and now look at it now. Like you have games like Hogwarts and Marvel Spider-Man,
22 million copies, by the way,
and Jedi Survivor,
and Batman.
And Batman, like you have games that are really a game of the years.
Yeah.
These games are game of the years.
In fact, I thought RoboCop looked excellent. I haven't played it yet, but that game looked good.
I heard it's pretty good, RoboCop.
Yeah, so.
So I actually might go pick it up.
I did play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. That was pretty fun for a few times, but it's like the Friday the 13th. Yeah, or the Friday the 13th game. You can only play it so much.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely improved so much from E.T. back in there.
Yeah. How was Alien Isolation, Chris?
Scary as shit.
Good game though.
It's Outlast.
Oh, you can't fight back?
No.
Oh, I don't like that then.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You're able to fight the robots.
Okay, but not the xenomorphs?
No. The xenomorph is a one-hit kill.
Okay, dang.
Xenomorph sees you, you run, scatter, get away as fast as you can, because if he gets to you, it's done.
So it's like if you don't have a plasma rifle, you have no chance against a xenomorph. Pretty much. And that's the thing too. You're not really a space marine in the game, are you?
Which then reminds me of the fact, is the Jurassic Park game going to be that way?
Probably.
Well, you'll probably be able to take out like the smaller dinosaurs, but dude, I couldn't imagine you even being able to fight the T-Rex. Like that wouldn't even
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, no, at all.
That's a one kill right there, Ant.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
one. Probably the raptors are one kill also. Like the rabbit gets you and you're dead.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, man, that game right there too gets me excited. I'm not even a horror game fan, but that's like something where I'm like, oh man, if they do it right,
yeah,
it's gonna be a great
if they do it, if they do it right,
you're like, wow, that's gonna be a great game right there.
Absolutely.
But no, I'm excited. You know what, Ed? Even though like you know sometimes there's travelism when it comes to Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation bullshit. But anyway, I'm actually excited for what Xbox, the developer meeting. I think if they show Indiana Jones and it turns out to be the game I hope it will be, then that's great for Xbox, man. That's a system seller right there.
I'm rooting for them to
show this. and that developer machine games, dude, they have a good track record because the Wolfenstein games are pretty good. So.
Right. Ooh, that reminds me. It's gonna be first person. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be first person. I think it'll be third person. Here's my reason why. You don't play an Indiana Jones game to not see Indiana Jones.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. I don't know.
That's my big reason why I don't think it'll be first person.
And to me though, like the fact that Harrison Ford now is 80 years old and he can't do the role anymore, like you saw kind of like glimpses of that, and he's too old to play the role.
Now, if I had to guess, I'm gonna say it's gonna take place somewhere between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade. I think it's gonna take place in between somewhere in the trilogy.
You mean Temple of Doom and Last Crusade?
No. Raiders is the first one. Like I'm saying, between 1 and 3.
That's a big chunk of time.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like you don't want to like narrow it down.
I think during the first, I definitely think during the first trilogy, I'm gonna go between 1 and 2. I'll give you that, Chris. There you go. I'll give you between Raiders and Temple, because I do think they want to show him not like it's a video game, so you want to be not experienced and then become experienced by the end of the game, right? That's usually the way you do it.
So hold up though. I do think Temple of Doom, even though it's the second movie, the storyline takes place before Raiders. Yeah, look it up. I think it takes place before Raiders.
I did not know that.
Yeah, look it up. I think it's before Raiders.
So it's a prequel?
It is. Temple.
I believe you, Pete, but I always thought it was.
No, I think it takes place before.
I'm gonna go to Indiana Jones timeline.
Yeah.
By the way, MCU is like the Netflix is all canon now. All 16 hours of it is like canon now. What the hell's that? Or not 16 hours? It was like more. Well, no, it was. What did they make canon? It was just the Daredevils and the Defenders.
I think all.
Yeah. No, it's all everything.
Oh, everything's canon now.
Everything's canon.
Airfist is canon. That and Defenders too.
So it wasn't canon. Now it's canon.
Yeah. What they're doing, man. I really don't know the leadership over there, Marvel, what they're doing, man. It's like it's funny.
Yeah, Temple of Doom is a prequel, and it's set 1 year before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I mean, he could do it though, right? How many adventures did he have? He was an archaeologist, right? So he was doing all these adventures. So we don't know how many, prior to Raiders, he had. Technically he had to be experienced considering that he was fighting Nazis in the first movie, right?
True.
So Temple of Doom starts in 35, then Raiders is in 36, Last Crusade's in 38. Crystal Skull's in 57, and Dial of Destiny 69. So if I had to guess, I would say between 35 and or I guess around 35, 36. It might. I'll be honest with you. Maybe it'll take place before Temple of Doom. It might be a prequel to the whole entire series.
Could be. Good way to introduce the whole thing too, right? Like the mystic of Indiana Jones, how it became what. Well, really, when you think about it, Last Crusade was a real prequel, right? The beginning of the movie, because he shows him as a young.
Oh, yeah, they have young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it takes place in the timeline.
Yeah. So you think it'll fight Nazis? Like if it takes place
I
between
mean,
later?
Machine Games has made a killing on fighting Nazis, so
Yeah.
True.
It's very possible, but I'm excited for it. I hope
yeah,
like we'll see next week, right? We'll see the trailer and we'll see
10 minute
minutes.
10 minutes of gameplay. So
Yeah.
and
We'll,
then
we'll see.
we'll see Hellblade 2. They didn't really say how much we'll see of that, but I'm pretty sure we get a date this time. We've seen it enough without a date. I'm hoping we get a date.
See something
Um,
though, guys. Since I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but let me ask you something. Since we're getting Indiana Jones next week, we're seeing a trailer and we're excited for it. Since we had Jedi Survivor, we've had Alien Isolation, we had Hogwarts, we have like so many different movie franchise made into into video games, right?
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
What is one movie or one TV or anything that needs to be made into a video game like that you haven't gotten yet, or at least a really good video game that you can think of?
That's a very good question.
I'm just saying though, is there something out there that has not been translated to a video game yet that needs to
A
be
good video game, The Matrix.
It's not.
no,
It's too late. Too late.
That boat sailed.
That boat has sailed. With the
no.
fourth movie, that boat has sailed.
I'm gonna tell
That's
you
gone.
what.
John Wick.
Mm,
John Wick would be cool. Uh,
John Wick was
you know
very
what?
cool.
Now the movie's not good, but a good Van Helsing game would be cool.
Another ship has already sailed.
Hey, you know what? You know what movie we are getting though, guys? Blade.
Mm. It's true. With the
That
game.
is going to be fantastic.
Um.
How about Die Hard?
No, we had a Die
The
Hard
ship,
game.
that ship has sailed.
The Die Hard trilogy, Pete. Go back and play it.
No, it was not bad, but I'm saying I made a new version of Die
No,
Hard.
we don't need Die Hard.
All
We
right,
we don't need Home Alone.
that'll be interesting though. Home Alone,
I mean, Home Alone would be like what Halo neighbor then at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah,
making your booby traps.
yep. Basically, setting up your house for booby traps.
Yeah.
Let me see. What
Dune,
they already have
maybe.
a Dune game, the
Okay,
Spice Wars, but
that's right.
it's a real time strategy. Like I would like more of a Dune where it's like more like Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But
Yeah.
Okay, so
remake of Jaws. Oh wait, they already have it. You play as
yeah,
Jaws.
Yeah.
yep. Man, oh, was it Maneater? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting. Maybe like a buddy cop.
I'd like a really good Ghostbusters game.
There has been really good
They're
Ghostbusters games.
okay. They're okay.
That's a good one. The one that came out on the PlayStation or whatever. That was a pretty good game, actually. Ant. You should try it out.
It's
And don't
okay.
get me wrong, they could do better. It could be, they could do a little bit more, but it's pretty good, man. For what it's actually a pretty good
Are
game.
you talking about the multiplayer one or the single player one?
No, the one that came out on PlayStation 2 or 3, whatever. I don't know. The one that's supposedly the one that they remastered, not like last
Okay,
year.
yeah, that's
Spirits
the single
Unleashed.
player one. I'm talking about the multiplayer one that just came out.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
That
Yeah.
one's like isometric, like or not isometric, what asynchronous or whatever multiplayer, kind of like the freaking Texas Chainsaw game. People play
Yeah.
as the ghosts and people play as the Ghostbusters. Like I don't want that. I want a story.
They could.
I feel John Wick is a good one though, and Chris, I could see that being a really good video game.
Stranger Things.
How would you do that though?
I don't know.
Like, how would you
You
base
play
that
as 11.
Yeah, but like that's my only thing with Stranger Things. How can you make that an interesting game? Like the way you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of franchises that are good.
It'd be really. I don't know how you could do it, but maybe a MonsterVerse game.
like Dracula, Frankenstein, Werewolf.
No, well, I'm talking like King Kong.
Godzilla.
Or Godzilla.
War of the Monsters. That was a fantastic PlayStation game. Did you ever play that on PS2, Chris?
No.
Oh, that's fantastic. You just like it's basically like like a 3D overhead Smash Brothers, and you play like everybody picks like a monster, and you just fight each other like in
Okay.
cities. It's
That,
cool.
that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can think of is the fact that like you, but I want it as you as a human. I don't want you to play as a monster.
What about no.
Yeah, I made you think, guys, didn't I? I made you actually.
Well, we just weren't prepared for the question. If you gave me time, I could probably come up with some good stuff.
That's I can't say Avatar because literally freaking
Yeah.
got the game.
But it's a good question though, because I feel like there's something out there that can be translated to a game. It could be a money-making game
They
if
could have
done
did
right.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's a good
They
one.
they did though. It's called Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Or Sea of Thieves.
But I'm saying a good Pirates of the Caribbean where he played Captain Jack Sparrow. That's a money
I
maker
don't think
right
you would
there.
play as Captain Jack though. I think
No,
you'd play.
you play as your own character.
Yeah, you'd play as your own character in the world of
But
Pirates. Oh well, they did the Sea of Thieves actually, where they did the
Yeah.
whole entire DLC of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It was actually really well done.
we're talking about like a story. They actually like a
No, it was a
story.
It's
story.
His
Yeah,
story.
it was 5 story missions.
Okay, but I mean, maybe its own game. Like I own Pirates
Yeah,
of the
but I mean,
Caribbean.
this was really cool too because it even had the actual like recordings from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, like as you were doing it.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
I don't
Um,
know.
like I'm trying to think of like movie franchises that like they have like characters that are like a good Star Trek game. There you go.
That's a good one. I like that.
We don't have a good Star Trek game.
I mean, I think they
I
made
mean,
us.
wouldn't you call that like freaking Starfield
I
or
mean,
even
it's kind of like that, but I feel like you'd have to have like a crew, right?
No Man's Sky?
Yeah, but with actual licensed Star Trek.
Yeah,
What about a Battlestar Galactica game?
I think that ship has sailed.
Man, Chris just does not want to go back. What about a good 24 game, Chris?
Nope. Nope. I think I did play the whole 24 game.
You probably did.
I think I probably
I
did.
think you played the Lost game as well.
I did play the Lost game and did not like it.
Prison Break.
But that'd just be like a bunch of puzzles.
It would be. It'd be like escape room.
Yeah. Pretty much at that point.
And then you have Sucre in your party.
Uh,
What about Heroes, Pete?
I'll let Teabag.
You want a Heroes game? Save the cheerleader, save the world, Pete.
No, unfortunately,
Ship has sailed.
Yeah, that series only had one good season, and then after that,
You guys are just. How about a Sopranos game?
I think they did a Sopranos game.
They did.
They did.
You know what? But it's kind of like they did a Sopranos game. I think they did a Godfather game. They did a Scarface game. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a new one, maybe with better graphics and things like that. It'll be a good way to start a whole new series, right?
What about a good Game of Thrones game?
They
Yeah.
had that though.
No, it was like Telltale, but like I'm talking about like a real game where like you play as like I don't know, maybe you play as what's the guy with the burnt face? Like you could play through his story. Like the Hound, yeah. Or you could play as the Red Viper. Like dude, that'd be freaking sweet, man.
Wouldn't it be kind of like you play different characters throughout the whole game? Like wouldn't it be kind of like something like that?
Or he plays Jon Snow.
Yeah, I mean that would be a great game, honestly.
Yeah.
It's definitely very like it could be a game that ambitious. It's a very ambitious game, right? If done right,
Right.
You can tell a huge story with multiple characters and get to the I mean, like I said, will you base it on the whole series, or will you base it on like that's my only question.
I would probably want to do an original story in it.
Or maybe base it like every book.
I can tell you right now, Pete, most licensed properties are good when they're original stories.
True. But I think it should definitely take place in the main storyline.
Yeah, of course. You're just a side character in the main storyline.
Yeah. I agree. But I mean, it's definitely something that I think they can do. It could be a very ambitious game if done right. That's what I'm saying. Though I feel there's plenty of stories out there that that could be great games
They
if
need a
done right.
Barbie game.
Now, probably after the movie, yeah, probably.
Not for me, but they need it.
It's for someone.
It's for
It's not for
someone.
me.
It's for
Just
someone.
just just not for
So
me.
I'm glad you brought that up because now we can segue to the Golden Globes. There were winners this past Sunday.
There were
I I think Oppenheimer did excellent.
five
Oh,
awards.
absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Which I think is a telltale sign that they're gonna probably sweep the Oscars this coming in the next couple months. I think they're gonna probably get a bunch of nominations, probably a bunch of wins.
Uh,
I
Screen Actors Guild nominees just came out, by the way, which is
it's kind of very similar to the Golden Globes, like
it's
they're
kind of very very similar. Let's go. Best Supporting Actor be William Dafoe, Ryan Gosling, Robert Downey Jr., Robert De Niro, and Sterling K. Brown. Actors: Bradley Cooper, Coleman Domingo, which is interesting because he's rumored to be what's his face
good
King.
actors. Good actors.
Paul Giamatti, Cillian Murphy, Jeffrey Wright. So it's
Was
very
Jeffrey
similar.
Wright for American Fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though. All those actors that you mentioned, I like a lot of those actors. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm happy with either one of those guys winning, any of those guys winning. So I like Willem Dafoe, I like Robert Downey Jr., I like Cillian Murphy, I like Bradley Cooper, Domingo from when I seen him in Fear the Walking Dead. Uh, Jeffrey Wright, I always liked him. He's another good actor I've seen for years. Yeah, what a great selection of actors, man, they got. I really do want Robert Downey to win. I'm glad he won the Golden Globe, but I think he needs an Oscar. He never won an Oscar, which is insane to me because I think the guy's a phenomenal actor for so many years, and
Right.
never won an Oscar. So I feel like it's his time. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, Killian too has been kind of a very unsung actor for so many years.
Well,
Yeah,
he's always been the supporting actor,
yeah,
Hmm.
he's always
and
been an actor.
now he's the lead, and he's like, oh,
Wasn't he the
you're really
lead in
good.
28 Days Later? He was really good in that.
Yeah,
But
which they announced they're redoing,
Why?
so they can make a
Oh my
trilogy.
gosh, dude. Like I swear Hollywood is like so out of ideas sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, but I always like Killian Murphy. He's always been a really
Yeah.
good actor. So if they win, dude, the Oscars, I'm really happy for them because, like I said, I feel. But I tell you what, like Jeffrey Wright or William Dafoe or some other actors out there that you mentioned, I have no problem with them winning either because I
Yeah.
I do like their. Dude, did you know that William Dafoe just finally got his Hollywood Star Walk of Fame? Finally, dude, that guy's been acting for like since the '80s. Like,
I think you have to pay for it though.
do
Uh,
you?
I think so. I don't think it's given to you. I think you have to pay for it and then go through the steps in order for you to get it.
Okay, well, okay, if that's the case, that's fine. But I always feel like Willem Dafoe has always been a great actor. I know he's not like a, leading man kind
I
of
know
guy.
he
He's
was in
always,
Boondock Saints, Pete.
but he's always a great actor, man. I always felt like Dafoe, like anything you see him in, he's always like solid, right? He's
Yeah.
one of those, So I'm just happy to see him get that. So, but um, yeah, I'm cheering for those guys. I'm cheering for Robert Downey Jr., Cillian Murphy, and Christopher Nolan because I feel like they for what they have accomplished the last whatever how long they've been doing this, they've done a lot, and I think they should be honored. So hopefully they get that in the Oscars as well. So
I hope so as well. There was some movie news. The Mandalorian movie got to
Mandalorian and Grogu movie, yeah.
yeah
Directed by John Favreau.
start filming this year.
oh god,
You just wait, just let it cook. Just we'll just
yeah,
wait and see we'll see
season three,
wait and see what happens.
let it like season three. Ugh, I don't
Just
know.
let it cook. We'll see what happens. You may not know their faces, but we have three actresses potentially that are doing test screenings for not test screenings, but like the testing to see who's going to play Supergirl. So 3 actresses. One of them, I'm looking at the pictures here. She was the young blonde in House of Dragons.
The main character?
The main character.
The young
The
girl or the
the, the
older?
young the younger one.
Okay.
I don't know where she is from, and I definitely don't know where she's from. But the only one that pictures I can know would be the House of Dragon one.
Okay.
Scroll, scroll,
She was good
scroll.
in that. She was good in that series. I thought
Yeah, she was
she.
very good.
She
Actually,
was.
kind of like her more than her older actress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
She was way more interesting. I thought.
We have 2 castings for The Last of Us season 2. One of them is the girl from No One Will Save You, and also she was in Last Man Standing TV show with Tim Allen. Catherine, forgot his Detwire, I think you want to say his name is. She'll be playing Abby. Protect her at all costs because season 2 is gonna be interesting. A new trailer for The Walking Dead Rick and Michonne show came out. Looks very interesting. Starts on February 25th. Young Mazano has been cast as Jesse in The Last of Us season 2. I'm scrolling. Give me a second here. And you guys watching? Are we doing Echo this week?
Yeah, we can do that.
You could do that. Yeah.
You want to do Echo, and do you want to do True Detective? Because I know that starts this week, and I know you're excited about that, Anthony.
I don't know if I'll be able to watch both because like the amount of time Echo is going to take up. So
Okay.
let's just do Echo and then we'll figure it
Okay.
out next week.
Okay. Let me look. Scroll. Echo. Godzilla and Kong New Empire has been moved up to March 29th. Filming for Avatar 4 resumes next month.
So is Avatar 3 done then?
Avatar 3 is done, but they're just doing post production
Okay.
and all that. Let's see if I can see anything else. Stranger Things 5 is in production. So I can.
So let me guess. We're not gonna see Stranger Things till 2025.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
going to see it till
at
2025.
the
Yeah.
at the at the earliest. Five Nights at Freddy's is 2 is in officially in development. Da, 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 da. Oh, Alan Wake 2 is going to be in a Dead by Daylight, or Alan Wake, I should say. And that's all I can find for movies. So, what'd you guys think of Sound of Freedom?
Tough subject matter for sure.
Very tough subject matter. So I just finished watching it like about I don't know an hour ago or whatever, half an hour ago, anywhere before the show started. Like I said, um, very tough to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very emotional movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie can get preachy at times, but here's the thing though, it definitely leaves an impression on you.
It's a good message.
It's a very good message, and it's something that I feel needs to be told
Right.
because this really does happen.
Right.
Even like as you see, like in the end of the movie, they show a clip of like the whole raid and everything else that happened.
Even the fact that like the title screen
Yes.
when they're going through an opening credits and they were showing kids being taken
Yeah.
and whatnot, it was okay. So I liked the movie, but towards the latter part and end of it, it felt very unimpactful as I thought it should have been. like I liked it, watched it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on it and then see how I feel in the morning.
Yeah.
With the way it started, it was like directly in your face. Hey, this is real. This is happening and whatnot. And towards when it gets to, I want to say, the movie part of the movie, and then it felt like that dramaticness and that like instant impact wore off, and it
Yeah.
was like it didn't feel as strong as it did in the beginning.
I think the climax happened when they were on that island and they finally got all those. They took those guys down the ring, that pedophile ring, whatever they were, the ones who kidnapped all those kids and the kids. I loved, like, I think it would have
I
been
felt like for me the climax was when they got the boy back. I felt
Yeah,
like that was the climax.
I could see where you're coming with that because it felt like two separate movies.
Yeah,
It kind of like almost felt like when they got the boy back, the first movie ended, then the second movie was going to get the
like
girl in the jungle because it
the
was like
movie.
almost a completely different feel to
Yeah,
the movie. It felt more like an action movie at that point.
I mean, I think I love, like, it would have been perfect if they ended. I understand they had to get the girl because I really would have liked it wouldn't have felt right if they didn't get her. It would
right.
have
Well,
felt
yeah,
great.
that made you feel like shit because the fact
Yeah,
that he didn't get
yeah.
the girl.
And I love when there was a Vampiro, whatever his name was. I forgot his name, but anyway, I love when he's like goes over there and tells them, Jim Caviezel's character, it's like, you hear that? The kids are all clapping. Oh, that's the sound of freedom. And I thought that was a perfect way it'll be like, okay, that completes the whole movie. That was kind of like, boom, that's it.
Yeah,
Like, that would have been right there. And the ending would have been beautiful in a sense, because
yeah,
Yeah.
I felt really like, okay, that makes perfect sense right there, the title and everything else. Uh, like I think like the next half an hour, but in the same time, I feel like you needed that because if you did not have that part, people would have been, well, what about the girl? What
yeah.
about the sister? Come on, people would have like really been enraged because of that because you're so emotionally invested already in those characters. I don't see how anybody could not be satisfied if that you didn't get that.
Well,
You know,
yeah, and that and the fact that the reunion with her family as well. You get that at the end. Like if it ended and he just got her and it ended, I would have been like, so we're not gonna have that interaction with the parents, with the dad, and we're not gonna have the interaction with the brother. We're just not gonna have that.
yeah.
I'm glad we got it, but that second half of the movie of trying to get her, it felt completely different, and it didn't resonate with me as much as the first part did. Where like he was doing like true investigation work,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, I'm gonna use this guy that I caught to try to get this, try to see what other information I can have. No, it turns out like, hey, let's go set up an island somewhere and have this be like a big, like an Epstein Island kind of a thing, and all like it just seems way
Well,
out there.
I know you say that, but I think it's actually based off like a true story. Like I actually think they did that.
Yeah.
It is true, and I believe it. It just seems way out of left field. You go from like what it felt to me like a grounded situation to then that, and you're like,
Obviously, it's
okay,
Hollywood, so they're embellishing a little bit, but
Exactly. Uh, I do think though, like I said, the one thing about the filmmaker and everything else, like the way they did the movie, it is kind of like almost preaching to saying like this is happening, this is what's going on in this world.
sometimes you need that though, Pete.
That's the thing though. Like I feel like, in a sense, the way they made the film, it is kind of almost like it's kind of one of those like back in the day, you used to have like those made for TV movies, like where like like they trying to send a message and say like the dangers of certain things, like whatever
Yeah,
happens, like for it, don't do drugs, kind of like a movie or
yeah,
something
like
like that.
the after school specials.
School specials, yeah, that's what it feels like in some ways. I like those. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie because it has a lot of great, great monologues, great dialogue. Like I said, I like when Jim Caviezel sits down, like he asks, I forget what Vampire his name is. I don't know what he was, but the guy was smoking a cigar. The guy was like helping him
yeah,
out. And he asked him like, "Why are you doing this?" And he told that story about like he was like this big drug dealer kind of guy making all this money. He told the story what happened in the incident, and it was such. I thought he did a great job, that actor, because he actually made me believe in what he was trying to do and all that. So, but like I said though, I feel like it's you. This movie, I'm glad it was made because you needed to send this message.
Oh, 1,000%.
If this is what's going on in this world, if that's what's happening, regardless if it's embellished, I don't even care if it's one victim. I need this story being told because people need to be aware that this stuff is going on in this world.
Yeah.
And even if it's not even like happening with the kids in this country, if it's happening in another country, that
Right.
needs to be stopped. So I'm glad that this movie's out there and sending this message because it needs to be sent. So and like I said, it's funny though because like I said, it feels like, well, they're like it feels like, oh, that's all they're saying, right? They're sending this message across, right? But the reason why I get emotional about it because I'm like, dude, this is really what's happening. I
Yeah.
believe it. I truly believe this is what's happening, and it's crazy to me that we, as a society, don't focus more on this and try to have this stop, especially if you have a lot of sex trades coming into this country. That needs to stop, because to me, that's the lowest of the low for any human being to be like that. To take kids and use them that way. That's the lowest of the low. I mean,
Yeah.
1,000%.
I can't think of anybody lower than that. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting to me, to be honest, to think about it. And like I said, I granted, I mean, I know there's controversy and everything else, and the Epstein thing and all that. But dude, I'm sorry, if it's true, if it's factual, please let's get the people responsible and put them in jail. Like
Oh,
I
absolutely.
dude, this is not something that should be happening in society at all, especially if there's people who are in power. So, like I said, that's rumor based. I don't know, like what's right or what's factual and what's fiction. But like I said, if it's any truth to it, please let's do something about it. But then, like I said, though, I think in some ways it emotionally struck me because, like I said, when I see stuff like when I if this is going on, granted, might be this might be done like an after school special, but if
Mm-hmm.
this was going on, that then I think the movie did its job right. So in that
Yeah.
sense, it could have
But
been done better as a filmmaker though. Like
yeah.
told a much better, done a better story, like the way they did it. It could have been done better. I
I
do
would
agree
I
with
would say pacing for me.
it could have done better as a movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
as a filmmaker, it has been done better because I've seen like movies who try to send a message and do it, in a much better manner.
Right.
But at the same time, though, like I said, though, I rarely few do you see movies like this, right? That talk about this type of subject matter
Right.
because it's kind of gross, it's very gross and disgusting. But you rarely see movies tackle this subject matter. So I'm glad it did, and I'm
Right.
glad. And it's weird to me that somehow this was not being more, like that this kind of like people were watching this movie because of word of mouth or whatever. No, nobody was really there. Was not too many commercials, not too much, you know. Like it's
I mean,
weird.
you would see the poster like on online and social media or what as be like, I don't even know what that is,
Yeah,
and you would see
exactly.
the fact like you can get free screenings now for this movie that's in theaters. And you're like, I don't even know what this is about. I don't know.
So it's just weird to me that this didn't get promoted more by other people, by anybody actually. So it's very strange for me, but it's very successful, man. I look at Amazon Prime, and you're like, that's one of the first things you see,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're one of the first things you see. So
Yeah.
good for that movie, man.
Yeah, good for the movie. Good for Amazon putting it on Prime. So it's not like you have to go through like
Yeah,
Netflix and paying $20 or something a month just to watch the movie.
Thank you, Mark, for the love. Thanks for showing up, commenting. We appreciate you listening and watching.
Absolutely. Also, we are now on YouTube as well. We're gonna be putting the episodes on YouTube on Fridays.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on Friday on your YouTube channel, hello. I'm gonna try to break up our
Segments.
not segments, but like try to break up our movie reviews
Okay,
as well.
gotcha.
So we're gonna put it like as a standalone movie review. So this video, like what we just did, where we just talked about with Sound of Freedom, that's gonna be clipped out and put in as its actual own post, and
I'm
on
all about
Facebook
it.
and YouTube.
Yeah,
And then like we're gonna pull on Fridays. This whole show will be on YouTube.
Did either
So,
of you guys have a chance to watch Nefarious?
No, I didn't, man.
what is Nefarious?
That's what I told you need to watch. I texted you the other day. I was like, bro, you need to check out Nefarious.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. No, did not
Okay.
watch it.
You guys, if you have a chance besides Echo, you should check that out. It's on Amazon Prime. It is a very well acted movie. Basically, the whole movie is basically this psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever you want to call it, that is interrogating or questioning this serial killer's mental capacity to see if he should be executed or not.
Okay.
And that it's pretty much the whole movie just takes place between them talking. It's freaking interesting as hell too. There's other scenes. There's a couple other scenes where he like goes out and is talking to like the warden and stuff. But
no. I enjoy talking movies like Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah.
I love the dialogue between Zendaya and John David Washington. So
I mean, Mark watched it. He says it's a wild movie. I'm telling you that like Sean Patrick Flannery's acting in this movie, fan freaking tastic. Like
okay, so
awesome. It was great. And Sisu, is that the like ultra violent movie?
Yes.
Okay, I know which one that is.
Sisu is a great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and slit your throat and like breathe your oxygen.
What was that other movie that came out with Better Call Saul guy that was like punching people?
Nobody.
In the face? Yeah, Nobody. Was that good?
It was actually entertaining. Yeah.
Heard to make it a sequel too, right?
Yes.
Is it Bob Odenkirk? Is that his name?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah.
Gold Mines goes ham.
Nefarious. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, that will be a Saturday night movie.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting watch. I heard good things about it, and I watched the trailer for it because it just sounded interesting, and I'm like, okay, this looks like something like I would definitely get into. So I watched it, and it was fantastic.
Okay, definitely gonna check that out then.
So like sometimes, like it's kind of one of the movies that surprise you, right?
I would say yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever like? Is there any movies that you remember that like somehow like you watch and you're like, you know?
I know you don't like it, Pete, but Boondock Saints, man, like that movie is freaking fantastic. Snatch is one that I would say.
I was gonna say Frequency because I think
Frequency is one.
Seven. What's the question now?
Like what movie did you watch? Like had no anticipation for, no expectations for, but like wind up being one of your favorite movies.
Coda.
Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, that's a good one too. Slumdog Millionaire is a great one.
It is. Yeah.
Life of Pi is another good one.
I didn't watch.
I love that
watching Life of Pi.
Oh, you haven't, dude? That's a good movie, Chris. Coda. Coda is another excellent one.
That's it. Coda first. Yeah. Didn't actually get.
You know what? For me, it's Parasite, man. I remember.
Parasite's a good one.
I had no real like. I'm like, what's a big deal for this movie? I went and watched it. I remember because, and that was the year it was. I always talk about this, but I don't care. 2019. I remember all these 10 movies got nominated, right, for the Oscars, and we're like watching each one of them, right, and they're all really good.
Right.
Like, they're all like, wow. Then okay, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, excellent movie. Irishman, good. Ford vs Ferrari, very good. Like, you know, and. What was it? What was the other one with?
You know what? I know it's a really popular movie, Pete, but Forrest Gump.
No, to me, I thought that was really popular, though.
It was popular, but I didn't have like in '94, dude. Like I was like 12 years old, so I didn't go into watching a drama like Forrest Gump, thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna think this is like the greatest thing of all time, and it like that's what I thought of it.
You know what? I got you one, Ant. Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank's good.
Was it a surprise though?
Well, I mean, you gotta also understand. I think I watched it maybe in '94, '95, and not really. There wasn't too much hype for it, like when it first came out.
I don't know. I guess like there's a lot of movies I watched. Like I watched Clerks later on and was blown away by it, but it was already out for years at the time.
True.
Like I seen Snatch in the theater. I seen Frequency in the theater. Like those are movies that like I saw like when they first came out and like didn't really get a buzz on them.
Buried
Oh, Buried's
for
a good
me.
one.
You know what's funny? I know this is crazy because of now how like it's now a classic, but I remember watching The Matrix in '99 in the theaters, not knowing too much about it. I think I remember watching the first couple weeks when it came out, and that movie blew me away in the theater. Like that movie was like one of the things where like wow,
Yeah,
okay,
I
it's coming
didn't
back.
go watch Fight Club in the theater, but I watched it when it first came out on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever it was at the time, and that movie blew me away.
Street Kings.
Street Kings was. I think I watched that with you.
You did.
That's a good movie, dude. Actually, you know
Apparently,
one that no one really like hyped for me, and I watched it, and I was just like, "Holy crap, this movie's good." End of watch.
that's a good movie.
Yeah,
That's a good.
no one even hyped that one for me. I was just like, "Damn, that was an experience." But like I know like what was the movie was it Prisoners? Was that the one with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
I love
See,
Prisoners.
but everybody told me it was really good and I would really enjoy it. So like I kind of feel like that one was like hyped for me and it was still good. It met expectations, but I'm just saying like I can't say that was one that like I watched out of the blue and I had no expectations going in.
Was that? Is it Game Over
Game
or the
over.
or is the game plan? No.
Date night?
Date night. Yep, that's it.
Date night's fantastic.
Um, you know which movie? Well, like I said, Prisoners is one. I don't know if that like. I, I don't know. I remember people hyping it up or anything like that, but I remember watching. I was like, I love that movie. Sakar is another one too.
Yes, Cario's
People
a
are
good one.
hyping that up though.
I think maybe I don't. I'm not sure.
How about
People
Way of the
were.
Gun, Pete?
Really like Way of the Gun, man. That's a
We
good one,
saw that
man.
in the theater. I don't even think there was anyone in the theater with us.
No, there wasn't. No,
You
the
better shut
whole
that mouth before. I thought you were gonna say it.
God.
the whole movie was great though, man. From
Uh,
beginning to
you want to go?
Suicide Kings is another one too. I remember we
Yeah.
really enjoyed
Kings in New
that.
York or King in New York or Kings in New York? What was that? That was a good one too.
One
Was it
Gangs of
called?
New York
No, King of New York. Wasn't that what it was called?
from with what
Isn't
Christopher
there one with
Walken?
Christopher Walken?
Yeah,
Isn't that
you
called?
you yeah, King of New York. You watched that one?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Dude, Lawrence Fishburne kills that role, bro. Like
yeah, he
he like
does. What? Pete
he's
doesn't
so
think I watched that movie? Has New York
he's
in it?
so
New
he's so believable as a gangster in that movie, man. Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, he's great in that. Jeez, man. That's the thing, though. I feel like sometimes a great movie is one where you don't only get hyped. No, not a lot of people hype it for you. Not a lot of people like talk about it. You just go watch it, and you're like, "Whoa, that movie is fucking phenomenal," And like you had no expectations, but it just blows you away. Um, but yeah, I always it's funny though because you can never change that feeling, right? Once you watch the first time you watch a movie, you can never get that again, right?
Right.
It's like you can never get that feeling again watching the first time. Like with having like very little expectations.
I have very little expectations for Elvis. I didn't expect it
Oh, that was a great movie.
to like impact me as the way as I did. Even with the movie that came out this past recently, Priscilla, that told it
I didn't
from
watch that one.
it will make you look at Elvis very differently than what you saw
In
last
Elvis.
year. Yeah, in Elvis. It was like I was like, holy like it made him a narcissistic asshole.
I'm sure a lot of that was probably the drugs he was on at the end.
Probably, but it was like he was that. But like the way they told the movie, it was like he was that way from the very beginning,
Oh,
and it was
well,
like, oh, okay,
I mean, we weren't there though, so we don't really know. He could have been.
right.
It's a matter of perspective. We don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's another really good movie, guys. That, like I said, I hate to mention it because if you haven't watched it, it's kind of like I don't want to hype it up, but Baby Driver was great, man.
I
I
haven't
love it.
watched it still.
That's another
Baby
one, man.
Driver is good,
Baby,
but
yeah,
then I mean, that is also what's his name? What kind of movie?
oh, yeah. It's
Robert Eggers or whatever his name is. And
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright, and then but it has like everyone in the world in it.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. But dude, Jamie Foxx is excellent in that movie, man.
You know what movie we don't
So
talk
is John
about
Hamm.
enough?
What?
A History of Violence.
That I love that movie. I was thinking we watched it in the theater though, right, Ant? Or we all
It's been a
watched that in the
long
theater.
time.
Yeah, we did. We did watch that in the theater back in the day.
You know what's funny? Watching A History of Violence, I remember at first you were like, it's just another family drama movie, right? We didn't have too much. As the violence started happening, dude, you're like, what the hell? The violence is so graphic in that movie. Like
Yeah.
some of the scenes are so graphic. You're like, whoa. It's.
I mean,
It's
compared to what you see today.
No, but I think the way it was done in that movie, okay, so here's the thing: is you could have a movie that's full of graphic violence, and like, so for instance, the movie like Mark mentioned, like Sisu, like when I think of that, when from just seeing the trailer, I'm like, okay, it's just like a movie full of like over the top violence. But the way they did A History of Violence is when you're watching it, since it's not overdone. Okay, it's overdone in the sense that it's very graphic, but it's not a lot of it. So it's like it leaves more of a lasting impression. It's kind of like if you drop 175 f bombs, it's not impactful. But if you drop like 3 very well placed f bombs, it's very impactful.
100%.
Okay.
You know, another movie just like that too, which is another great movie.
Drive. That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of.
Another great movie because at first you're like, Ryan Gosling plays.
Dude, that shotgun blast like got me, dude. I was like, I think I jumped when that happened.
Whoa, what is going on here, man? Like, it just went to complete left turn, man. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Another movie that started really slow. You know, you like Ryan Gosling seemed kind of like a mellow guy. You don't really expect too much from it. Then out of nowhere, his violence just pops out of nowhere. You're like, what the hell is that?
Wow. Okay.
Did
you ever see that movie, Chris?
I've never seen Drive.
Whoa.
You need to watch Drive. You need to watch Drive.
Never seen Drive.
Did you ever see History of Violence?
A long time ago.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I just thought about that movie. I was like, man, you know what? That's a movie we don't talk about enough.
It's done by what's the name? Cronenberg, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, Cronenberg is like that type of guy, a shocking kind of like director. He likes stuff like that.
David Cronenberg.
Yeah, he's like that. That's his style. So, but yeah, that's another movie too. Where Drive, I'm like watching. I'm like, okay, it's a really good movie. And then out of nowhere, you're like, whoa. You know, it's a really good movie too, man. Another movie that I really liked. Well, I actually, you know, we're thinking of Liam Neeson. He has a few of those movies. Like Taken was another one. Taken really, like.
Oh, the first Taken's fantastic.
Yeah.
The Gray got me. I was like, oh.
That's what I was thinking of. The Gray. Yeah. The Gray is so freaking good, dude.
Is that the one with the wolves?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That's a great movie, man. That's another movie that's you're like, wow, man. That's like, it's just like a movie you don't really expect too much from it, and then you're like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
The Road was a good movie too.
That's a very good movie. Very depressing movie though.
Yeah.
Very like there's nothing really like uplifting about that movie at all, man.
No.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of movies that are kind of like, well, how's Argyle? Did you watch that, right?
No, that comes out next month.
Oh, you did not watch Argyle?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you did a preview or something. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
No, but I do have a preview for this movie called Roleplay. That comes out Friday on Amazon.
Okay.
But I do have a screening for it tonight after the show.
Okay.
So I'll be watching that as my movie for the night.
But all right, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna hop off.
All right. It is time.
Did we talk about everything? I think we got everything, right?
Yeah, we got everything. And then we'll be watching Echo, and we will be reviewing Echo next week. I'll also be watching the latest episode of Percy Jackson with the one and only Adam Edge Copeland in it.
Yes, the Radar Superstar.
The Radar Superstar will be in this episode, so I'll be watching that. But
I'll be watching Reacher. It's okay.
Nice. And if you guys get a chance, please watch Nefarious over the weekend or over the weekend.
I'm also watching The Bear as well. Bear's really good.
Oh, you started watching it? It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really want to watch the Fargo TV show. I've heard good things about that as well.
First season's amazing. I haven't watched anything after that though, but the first season.
But it's an anthology, right? Every season's different.
It is. It is, so you don't have to really worry about it. It's all takes place in Fargo, but
Of course, yeah. That's another great movie too, by the way.
It is a good movie.
The Wood Chipper. Yep. All right, gentlemen. I'm the real Ant-Man.
Eat up.
King Black Cherry.
See you next Wednesday.
Later.
Peace.